Welcome back to Latin 3. Our book is First Year Latin. We're ready for page 121. This is Lesson 65. It's very much a continuation of Lesson 64. Simply a review of the passive voice indicative mood for our four conjugations. So again, note the present in the indicative passive is a little confused simply because of that third conjugation. If you note that third conjugation's connecting vowel comes and goes. And so that's why it has to be set out in that more complicated way. But again, the endings are very simpler. It's stem, connecting vowel, ending. In the imperfect, again, present stem, connecting vowel, and then your endings, barbarus, batur, bamur, bamani, bantur. Future, first two conjugations are formed in very much the same way as the imperfect, just with a different set of endings. The third and fourth conjugations, however, again are characterized simply by a change in vowel. Simply by a change in vowel. And so you can notice, for example, look at the, for rogo, look at the second person singular present. It is regerus. Look at the second person singular future, regerus. The only difference is the length of the connecting vowel. Okay? So that is an especially tricky one. Right, and same with the, and it's the same in the first person plural. First person plural, regamur, that's present indicative passive, but the present indicative, the future indicative passive is regamur. So those are the tricky ones. It's always that third and fourth declension futures are the ones that can be tricky. And again, spend some time learning those now, because it'll only be more tricky when we add the subjunctive mood, which is only characterized by these vowel changes in the stem. On page 122, the perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect, again, are no problem. They're simply the perfect participle, perfect passive participle, plus your forms of the verb to be. So review those, use this as an opportunity to review. In a similar way, section 2 on the middle of page 122, you can prepare a comparative view of these four verbs, and that can be very helpful, especially in those third conjugation verbs like conjungo. You might write that out and really notice where the tricks are, where they look very similar to, where certain tenses look very similar to each other. Vocabulary. Adolescens, adolescentis is young man or young woman. Impetus is an attack or an onset. Persia is Persia. Scythia is Scythia. Tribunus, or tribunus really, we shouldn't have that U in there. Tribunus is the tribune. It's one of the officers, one of the magistrates, I should say, of the Roman Republic. He was the defender of the people. He could veto any legislation, and he was elected by the common people. There were typically 10 tribunes, and the tribunician power was eventually one of the great powers that was subsumed by the emperor. Voluntatis is will or wish. Improbus, is wicked or bad, and tum is then or at that time. All right. Page 123, the sentences. Pause the tape, try your best, and come back and get the corrections. Sentence 1. Quando domus nostra a piratis spoliata est. The verb is spoliata est. It's perfect passive, obviously. When was our house ransacked by pirates? Sentence 2. Nona impetus militum ab adolescentibus sustinebantur. The verb sustinebantur, again that a buntur ending gives you an easy clue as to what's going on. So, and note the long A buntur. So that tells you that you're dealing with a future. It's a future. So we have the attacks of the soldiers. Will the attacks of the soldiers not be sustained by the young men? Will the attacks of the soldiers not be sustained by the young men? Will the phone quit ringing? Imperium Populi Romani Scythia et Persiae defini batur. The verb defini batur, again you got that a batur ending, tells you are in the imperfect passive. Okay? So the power of the people of Rome, or the empire of the people of Rome, was bounded, limited, defined by Scythia and Persia. They were the countries that surrounded the empire of Rome. Sentence 4. Tum ab multis adolescentibus honesti Stephen de Bamur. Tum ab multis adolescentibus honestis Stephen de Bamur. Again, that a Bamur ending tells you that you are in the imperfect. At tum is at that time. At that time, we were being defended by many honest or noble, honorable young men. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the State Seal of Connecticut. They're optional. Qui transulit sustinet, he who transported sustains, he who moved across the Atlantic remains. And another fable, the Raven's Birthday. Corvus simulans se natalam celebrare, aves ad canum invitavit. The corvus, pretending celebrare, to celebrate his birthday, se natalem, aves ad canum invitavit. Invited, it's perfect. He invited the birds to dinner. Denda ingressus clausit ostium et singulatum coipet occidere eas. Then, having gone in himself, clausit ostium, he closed the door, and singulatum, and one by one, coipet occidere eas, he began to kill them. So, watch out for ravens. Lesson 65 is done.